It's the Slam Dunk.
Okay, that was fascinating. Right, newsflash, folks. This recession is coming to an end. Here's why. Yesterday, the government reported inflation had dropped to 3.3%. Never before have I been so interested in the official inflation figure. At 3.3%, it's fair and accurate to say we have finally got on top of this beast. And I never thought I'd see banks start cutting their interest rates voluntarily, even before the Reserve Bank has officially cut the OCR, which sets interest rates, right? Adrian Orr has strangled the economy to a point that it's barely moving, and these big Aussie-owned banks haven't bothered to wait for Orr's next move. ANZ has shed 0.3% off most of its top-line interest rates as of yesterday. They've moved despite him and without him. The banks even know it's dead out there, and they're trying to breathe some life into this New Zealand economy. Without Orr, it means that Adrian Orr's mission is almost complete. We have, for the last 2 years, borne the brunt of this orchestrated, man-made recession, as we have struggled to get prices and costs under control. This is a man-made, New Zealand-made recession. We have endured the painful and slow fight to bring it down from its peak of 7%, and it's now close to where it needs to be for Adrian Orr to start officially bringing the OCR just back a bit. Make no mistake, inflation's our enemy. It sucks money and the life from our economy and from your pockets. It is evil. We simply spent far too much. We printed too much money. We put too much money in there. We had it low for far too long, and when it came time to tighten, we had to go the whole hog real quick. At that same time, I had to sell my house. No one showed up at the auction. No one came to the open homes, despite the hours getting it ready. No one showed, because it was in that period, that terrible time. I could smell death in the market at the worst time for me. Try explaining all this to the ex and to the divorce lawyers wanting a paycheck, and, the recession started to get even more edgy for me. Then Today FM went under. This is my experience of this recession, and I needed more than just a 1 hour free counselling session I saw advertised above the urinal, at work. But wait, there's more. Let's launch a new live podcast show right as the second slump comes, which was in March, and I had agreed to be paid for this through some revenue structure. Where's the revenue? Guess what? The market's fallen. The arse has fallen out. The market revenue dried up. I've always been up for a challenge, but boy, this has tested me, this recession, like it has so many others. I guess no one is immune, and I've lived this recession and felt it. Did I mention the NBR dropped all its paid columnists as well about the same time? Yeah, I was in that one too. Good on them. I thought about chucking in journalism and broadcasting during this recession, and becoming a corporate shrill, like a shiver looking for a spine to crawl up, something like that. But I couldn't defend banks taking record profits during our time of need, and I certainly couldn't defend the power companies taking $2.7 billion from our pockets as profit, using the assets that we've paid for our entire life. Shareholders won, the rest of the New Zealand public like me nil. It's been an angry, nasty period where the cost of this is so obvious now at the very street level. For everyone to see, they can see it. Closed shops, retailers in crisis, restaurants and cafes are going under, and the very desperate have resorted to crime and antisocial behaviours on a scale that we've never seen before in this country. At its worst, some people have lost the plot. They've lost everything. Not just your disposable income, but in the worst cases, you've lost your job, your livelihood, maybe your house, and it's been a brutal and long recession. And the banks have finally realised this, that enough is enough, and they've not waited for the OCR to come down. They've preempted it. They've beaten Dr. Death, otherwise known as Adrian Orr, to the punch. It tells us so much more that he's been beaten to the punch. The property market is in tatters, and the GFC was nothing compared to this slump. This is huge. We've lost a huge number of hard-working New Zealand taxpayers to Australia and abroad, and we may live to regret that. They are the tax base of the future. We simply spent too much, and we went willy-nilly crazy with the chequebook under Grant Robertson, and Adrian Orr sat there in silence. And he was far too silent. He agreed. Then I thought, confidence has sagged so much that it may take a year or two for us to actually get our mojo back, and it probably will. But we'll be back, because we're Kiwis, and we're sick of the grim, and we're all desperate to smile again, I reckon. So we're not far away. Let's begin to back ourselves, New Zealand. It's now or never, and the conditions will soon come right. And there's no excuse then. We're a long time dead, and remember that. So let's start living again. We're not far off it. Let's go, guys.
Garner.